Shall I get a response from your end? Good afternoon. At least in the message. Students, are you there? Shall I get a good afternoon? Can you able to hear
Yes,
me?
good afternoon.
Okay. Thank you. Today I'm going to talk to you some important topic. Okay. So the last class I've taught you about the installation, right? Installation and how to do a simple or a basic program like this, right? So how to write a print statement in JSP and how to create a JSP file and how to install the server and how to run the program and how to print a small messages on the screen, okay, are sending the output, what are the different ways, right? So these are the things I have taught you, and how to declare a variable and how to work with variable and how to integrate in between HTML part for formatting or for some other thing, all right? And then how to work with the design based application, that is through two text boxes, and how to perform and simple addition, right? And so far I hope these are the things are covered and you also understood, right? Now I just want to revise little theory on JSP. Okay, so we'll go to theory part of JSP and I'll just explain you what is JSP. Okay, so last class also we have started. This is how in between the percentage, a set of percentage and an angle bracket, you have to write the JSP code, right? And one more important thing is, okay, advantages of JSP also you please go through. The main thing is JSP life cycle. Yeah. Okay, from here, or the architecture of JSP. Okay, so here comes, I just want to talk to you today. So how the JSP program is executed. So far, you know about there is a client, that means our browser, right? Or from our side, we are using some of the interfaces, like we are using this Eclipse workspace, right? So this Eclipse workspace, which represents the client, and we inside that, okay, there is a client as well as server. Okay, so how the web server is connected? Okay, so you have done the server, which are the okay, so this is how the client side application and the server is created. And while you run, the browser will send the request to the server. This server is executing and send back the details back in the form of HTML. For example, here, okay, so this is the client side application, that is, which is the combination of HTML. Right now, when you type number 5 and number 6, and when you press the submit button, at the time, okay, the script is executed. That means the JavaScript. At the time of on click of submitting this, okay, this JSP file is called, and this send this data. For example, you can look at the browser top URL. The value of the T1, that is first text box value, second text box value, both are visible, right? And these two are sent to the server. And after that, the server is processing. That means these two are data sent back to the server. Server is processing here and it sent back to the details. Okay, the returning results will be sent back to the HTML part through which we are getting the final result, right? And in case if you want to hide the data transaction in the URL, you have to set the method as post. Okay, if you set the method as post, if you refresh the page, okay, so, and when you type 8 and 9, while you submit these details which are processed in between, the server is not visible now, it is hidden, right? Previously it was visible, right? Previously it was visible, T1 and T2. And now the data is data you want to make it more secure, okay, you can set the method as post. By default, the method is get. But if you set method is get, then the transaction which is taken place between the client and the server will be visible on the URL. So that is the difference between, if you want to keep your code more secure, the data transaction in between the server and the client you want to hide, then you have to set method as post. If you set method as get, then it is visible. By default, this method is going to be get. Okay. So this is how the JSP program is executed. This is called the life cycle or the architecture of JSP. Okay. So here the client is okay. We are all typing the program, and while we submit, okay, through the browser, the server request is sent to the web server, and inside the web server there is an engine that is called JSP servlet engine. This green portion, maybe it is not visible, but it is called JSP servlet engineering. Actually, your JSP files, while you save, okay, that is stored here, right? Okay, so the web server is they're taking this JSP file and executed on the server, this servlet engine, okay, and then you are getting a output, okay, which send back the result. Okay, so this is how JSP is processed. It's given more clearly here. Okay, so as a client, you will type an JSP program or a HTML and a JSP program you may type, right? And you have to store it inside a particular path where the server is available. That is why we have to put the code in between, inside the web inf. So this is the path you have, the server is available, and you have kept your file inside the server, right? JSP file. And while you run this JSP file, it will be translated. Okay, so there is a transition phase which transfer the content of JSP file into a Java file. Okay, the same file program will be converted into hello.jsp is converted into hello servlet.java. Okay, at the time of compilation. Okay, and while you execute the this Java program will be converted into class file. Okay, so hello servlet dot class. So this is how the request is processed, and you're getting back the result, and it will send back the result in the form of HTML. This is how step 1 to 6 is happening. Okay, so you all must have to draw this diagram during your exam when this kind of a question is asked. Okay, so it is called as how the it may be asked like this: how the web server create the web page using JSP, or draw the architecture diagram of JSP, or explain the life cycle of JSP. So this is how the client, you will type and create a JSP file, store it inside the web server, and web server, okay, which consists of JSP file. And while you run, okay, it will read the content and execute and generate a servlet.java file, and then it is compiled and a class file will be created. Finally, it is executed, and finally the result will be embedded inside the HTML format, and that's why the client is able to view the result. So request and response you are giving through request you are giving and response you are receiving in the same web browser itself. So web browser is a client, and web server is, okay, so here we have used the web server is called Apache Tomcat web server. Okay, so this is for supporting JSP application. So this is how JSP program is compiled and executed. Okay, and what is happening inside the JSP servlet engine? Okay, so JSP servlet engine is reading the JSP file, and it is doing this 4-step. Okay, inside the JSP. So in this part, I'm saying here only inside the JSP servlet engine, the program is executed, right? So inside that, what JSP servlet program, servlet engine will do, what are the different ways it will generate different files at the time of compilation and execution, and while you stop. Okay, so there are 4 phases or phases of executions are there, or you can say it is a servlet life cycle of a servlet. Okay, so inside the servlet engine, okay, your program when you give, okay, so it just your program will be okay, so initialized by this, okay, which are the variables are declared. Okay, so all the initialization part is done by the method called JSP init. So JSP init method, which is automatically called, and all the variables are going to be initialized by this JSP engine. Okay, next, there is a next, your requests are supposed to be processed. That is processed by JSP service method. Okay, there is a method called JSP set. So init method, then the next invocation of method is JSP service method. So here your request, maybe addition, subtraction, multiplication, whatever you have given is going to be processed. Okay, and once it is processed, okay, final result is available in variable C, or a result. Okay, then it is going to be sent back to the client, right? So that means in the web browser as a HTML output. Then finally, while you close, the JSP objects are going to be destroyed or free from the memory space. So this is called, okay, JSP servlet life cycle of JSP. Okay, so or you can say the servlet life cycle, because JSP also one of the servlet program. It is also going to call as a servlet program, one of the servlet programs. So through these three steps, any request which is coming here, no, that JSP file, in this way it is processed here. Okay, that means it is going to be finally, okay, by finally there is a cleanup process which is taking place. And more code on, okay, what is happening in the init phase, okay, how the definition of an init method which is written inside this JSP servlet engine is like this way: public void, okay, please make a note of init method syntax. Public void JSP init, I unknown caps, and here whichever variable you have initialized, that will be loaded here. Okay, next execution part, no, request and response will be handled. So void underscore JSP, this is a method, okay, which is defined inside the, so here only the reading part and manipulations, any arithmetic operations, whatever operation, Fibonacci series, factorial, or whichever data processing part is taking place inside. Okay, your program, from your program to this program is translated by this way, by this method, okay, which is available inside the JSP engine. Okay, so underscore JSP service, S alone caps, and HTTP servlet request. This is for each word, first letter is supposed to be caps, and there is an object name. Okay, so request, and there is a response, and you are creating an object. So these are predefined method. And please just study the syntax and write once and practice. So this is the way JSP is programs requests are handled and the response is prepared. Okay, next, once it is displayed through the get, post, or delete method, which way you have given, it is processed and read and written back. And at last, a function is called public void JSP destroy is called, and that just free up the memory space of all the variable once it is written back to the client. Okay, so that process is called JSP cleanup, and JSP cleanup is supported by the function called JSP destroy. Okay, I hope you all understood. Okay, now can you all type what are the methods we have studied? What are the methods we have studied inside the servlet lifecycle? 3 methods, right? Can any one of you type what is the first method? What is the first method? Type it on your chat screen. What is the first method? One of you, can you type what is the first method? If you want, okay, I'll just tell you. This syntax you should know. Okay, so inside the JSP servlet engine, this is the first method. Okay, and whichever variable that you have initialized will be loaded inside. Okay, then what is the second method? Okay, so the second method is this one. This is how the whatever process or a service that you have requested will be, okay, executed. So this is the second step. Okay, and the third step is, okay, after printing the results, it will be clean up. So it will be clean up by means of calling this or an invocation of this particular method. Can you all memorize these syntax? All these are important. So far what we have studied, JSP architecture, okay, architecture, and second JSP lifecycle. Okay, next, how JSP servlet, okay, servlet engine will handle, engine works. Okay, so these are the 3 questions I have taught you now. Okay, so from based on this 3 questions we have learned. Okay, next part. Simple program I'm just going to execute, and I'm just going to tell you. Okay, so if you want to declare any variables, so what is the basic syntax here in JSP is percentage followed by exclamatory symbol, and then the declaration statement. Multiple declaration also you can follow. For example, if you want to declare I equal to 0 means, okay, exclamatory symbol int I equal to 0. And okay, so like this way, any function or an object if you want to create by this way, or variable name, comma, comma, comma. So this is how any variables or an expression you can write. Okay, so these are the syntax you should know. And okay, so I just want to show you some of the programs. Okay, if you want to comment certain things, okay, then you have to use, this is the comment entry symbol, percentage ends with percentage. This is the JSP code, right? In between that, okay, so percentage minus minus and ends with minus minus. This is the called JSP comment engine. This will not be executed by the JSP servlet engine because those code are commanded by the user. Okay, but this one is a HTML comment, already we all know, right? Next, you should know, okay, about this percentage at symbol directive attribute is. So what are the directives are there? 3 directives are there. At page means, okay, for example, in this application, automatically this line of code is generated because we have created. So this content of this particular page is text, or it may be HTML, and it is following a language Java. So JSP, that is why you're getting a .java extension based file for a servlet program, right? And during the compilation, and as per Java syntax, your code are going to be evaluated, and finally the contents are going to be present in the form of HTML. And the character set, okay, which characters, okay, the formal way of writing variables and naming standard, you are following this one. And the encoding mechanism, interpreting in between okay, between the client and the server, this mechanism is applied. So this is how through at page you can give some structure of this particular document. So that is why this is called as a directive. It's a command. Okay, so percentage, so you should memorize this particular structure at least. Okay, you all must know about this particular directive. Okay, you all must know the standard also. Okay, it's very simple, and you please memorize this part also. It starts with percentage, ends with percentage, and starting part alone at, then followed by page, and attributes are language as Java, content type is text or HTML, char set is ISO 8859-1, page encoding is ISO -8859-1. Okay, so these, because sometimes they may ask in an example, write about directives in JSP, or write any one example directive in JSP. At least you can write about it. Okay, and next part, leave all these part, only those things I'm teaching you, those part alone. Okay, JSP objects, there are different objects are there. Okay, you should know. Okay, we have discussed about request object and response object. So request object, when you want to create in your program, you have to use it in this way, HTTP servlet request, and the response is HTTP servlet response. And out means, okay, print writer object, when you call out method works. Okay, and there is a session object that is supported by HTTP session. There is an application object, but it is supported by servlet context. There is a config object that is supported by servlet. This is how in your program you are using these methods or objects you can use for accessing. Okay, this object name you have to refer based on different purpose. Okay, next. Okay, so small program. I'm just going to copy paste this program and I'll just run. Okay, and I'll just show you what is the difference and what is the use of these programs. Okay, so let me clear these programs, and I'll just create another one JSP file. New JSP file. Okay, just first like that I'm giving. Next, finish. Okay, it is available inside this one. I'll just keep it outside. Okay, here. Okay, first that JSP, right? So these are the basic structure automatically generated in between the body of the page. I'm just going to keep this code. Okay, so what is this program is all about? Okay, this is how percentage and then exclamatory symbol, data type, variable name equal to value, semicolon. Okay, so this is how you have to declare a variable where you can write a JSP code anywhere. If you want to write, you can write anywhere. Okay, so it's from here, anywhere you can write. Okay, and so this is an example for if else statement. It's given here. Okay, so what is the syntax or what is the program written here is if day is 1 or day is 7, okay, then we are going to say that today is weekend. Okay, but day is declared as 3. So 1 or 7 only weekend. Otherwise, okay, it is going to be today is not a weekend. For example, printing part, we didn't use JavaScript program. Sorry, we didn't use JSP code out.println. Instead, we are using HTML. Okay, so either it will, okay, and you can start the if statement. So in case of mixing your HTML part, close the JSP and continue the JSP wherever you want. This flexibility is available. Okay, or otherwise you can make it as one single program. Okay, so now this is simple program and it just show, you can save the program and run, continue without restarting. Okay, so it says that, okay, as per the code, today is supposed to be, today is a weekend. Okay, sorry, today is not weekend because we have given 1 and 7 only. So double equal to is a comparison operator which compares, okay, whether day is 3 or not. So if it is not falls under this category, the next one is going to be executed. So this is how in your question paper, program will be given and what is the output of, or predict the output of this following code may be asked. So in this way. And you also should practice many programs. Okay, and the next program, so this is an example program for if else, right? And one more program likewise. I just want to compile lot of program and you just take a practice while you're free. Okay, because already I have posted this content in GCR as well. Okay, sorry. Okay, so the program is an example for switch case. Okay, how to write the switch case similar to Java and similar to C++ programming syntax alone. Okay, so it start with switch of day. The day we have declared, okay, that is 3. So 3 means, okay, case statement we used to write case 1 or 2 or 3 or, okay, 0 onwards you can write maybe number, maybe 0. So here, as per the program, this is 3 and it is supposed to print Wednesday. At least one case alone to be executed means you are just giving a break statement, the default case, and finally can close it. So out.println, wherever there is a need of printing an output statement, you can use this one. Okay, so save the program and run the program. Okay, so it says it is Wednesday. So this is how the switch case and its statements are. Okay, and one next program, it's mainly incorporating or working with the next program is working with CSS. Okay, so what is the program is? This is not an example program for switch. Okay, this is for an example program for loop. So how to write a for loop? For loop, always we used to say that for the initialization, semicolon, then the condition checking part, and then incrementation. Based on that, any output statements are there, you have to put the output statement. But here, based on this condition, there is an execution which is going to happen, that is on a HTML statement. Okay, so the phrase is opened here and it is closed at last. So this part is the body of this for loop. Okay, that like that it is going to be considered. So what we are doing here is, here just we declared a variable name is font size. So we are saying that font from 1 to 3. So that means for 3 iteration, it is going to be repeated. And okay, we have created a font a tag, and the size is going to get the value from this one each time. Okay, so we have just written font size. That means this is going to be replaced, this one going to be replaced by the for loop value. So first time it may be 1 or 2, because it's a printing statement. Equal to symbol is a printing statement. So 1, 2, 3. So the size is equal to 1 to 3 means for this text, different font size, this is going to be applied, and this font is this text is going to be printed. And the color you have set it as green. For example, any colors if you want to set, you can set, and you can just refresh. So 3 times we are going to get a text, and the text size is going to be a different size. Okay, different size. And okay, so like that you can just work with some for loop. Okay, or otherwise, just if you want to print number from 1 to n, okay, if you want, I'll just teach you simple statements. Okay, we are not working with font and all. Okay, just a simple okay, so instead HTML for loop, okay, we are just going to write a program, okay, just to print okay, int I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. Okay, and the statement ends here. So here it started. Okay, so we just want to print out how dot, but okay, how dot println of this I. Okay. Okay, save this program and refresh here. So number from 0 to 5 is printed. Very simple program you can write. Just it's a simple percentage symbol, opening closing part. Rest everything is wherever you need a declaration you can put. Okay, not only in the beginning. Okay, wherever you want it printed. For example, you want to find out sum of these number 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. How will you write a code? Okay, you will declare a variable called sum that is equal to 0, right? And what you will do, each iteration you will not print I. Instead, you will print the final result that is going to be sum. And what you're going to do inside is sum equal to sum plus I. That's alone. Okay, so these are very simple logic. So 1 plus 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. This is the result. So likewise, you can write small programs, and you can practice, and that will be useful for an exam. Okay. So small for loop I have printed. Okay. For example, if you want to write an if statement just to find out which is the biggest number. Okay. For example, 1 is greater than 2 or not, if you want to know. Okay. So what you can do, you can write like this. Println, how dot println of 1 is, okay, so you can say 1 is greater than 2 means, okay, so but 2 is big. Number 1 is, okay, so 1 is greater than 2. 1 is not greater than 2, right? So you can write else, how dot println 1 is big, right? Percentage symbol, okay, this is missing. Okay, close this one, percentage, and run this program. What is the output of this one? Can you all, any one of you, can you unmute and say the answer? What is the output of this program? Give me the answer, then only I'll give you attendance sheet and all. Okay, one of you unmute and give me the answer. What is the output of this program will be? If you are not talking, then I won't talk. Okay, there is no attendance, and you can say. Okay, someone is saying 2 is big. Okay, so I'll just run the program. Wait, save the program. Right click, run as, run on the server, continue without restarting. Okay, yeah, 1 is big. Okay, check the logic. Little Okay, always we used to write A is greater than B. Always will make first one is big. Okay, but what's the meaning of this? One is greater than two. Okay, we should say, okay, which is big actually? Two alone. Two is actual number. Two is big. You can change the statement. Okay, otherwise it is going to be meaningless. One is not greater than two. Okay, so actually number one is big. Likewise, okay, it's given. Otherwise, if you want to make it little dynamic, okay, if you want to make it dynamic, what you can do, you have to design a form application. Okay, so you have to design a form application and take that number and get the number and do a check. Otherwise, you can declare here A is 10, comma, B is 20. Okay, and then you can write a program. A is greater than B. Okay, then you will say A is big. Otherwise, B is big. Acha. So as per this program, you will get which result? Can you say? Any one of you unmute and can you talk? For this program, what is the output will be? Fast answer I want. What is the output of this one? Okay, A is 10, B is 20, A greater than B, A is big. Okay, B greater than B.
B is big.
Yeah, B is big. Okay, so this is how small program, very easy to write. Okay, the first part is simple installation. After that, the remaining syntax, logic, everything remains the same. If you want to compile the third one, then you will go for comma C equal to 30. Okay, you have declared. So if you want to update the program, what you will do? Double ampersand, double ampersand. Okay, A greater than B and A is greater than C. That means A is compared with other two numbers. Then only you can say A is big. Else if of, okay, you can write. Okay, so take the next number. B is greater than A and B is greater than C. Okay, then you only can say B is big. Okay, else can you say our dot println, no, that is C is big, right? Okay, 10, 20, 30. As per this program, what is the result will be? As per this program code, what is the result? I'll post the code. Okay, what is the result will be? 8, 10, 10, 10, 20. Which is the biggest one? Answer me. Unmute and talk. I'll leave you in another 5 minutes. Make it fast, quick. Which is big? Students, just find out the output for the last program. 3 numbers. Okay, I'll not share attendance sheets.
C is
Okay.
big, man.
Okay, one of you are answering after that. Okay. So it is supposed to be printed like C is big. Okay, if I make number 200, that is okay, just like that. Okay, just verify with the different output, the different inputs. Okay, it should say B is big. And if you made this number as 10,000, okay, 1,000, then it should say, okay, A is big. Okay, so that means your logic is correct. Okay, if you made all the numbers are same, there is what it will do? C is equal to 10. All the numbers are equal. This is wrong, right? So what you have to do? Else if C is greater than A and C is greater than B, then only you have to say this is C is big. Okay. And last part, one more else if statement. If A equal A equal to B, okay, and C, all these are same means, okay, A equal to B, okay, we'll check, there's an error, okay, A double equal to B and A double equal to C and or. Then you have to find which are the numbers. Okay, okay, all numbers are equal. And A is B, A, B, C. Can we say So two condition. You can say outer println equal. Okay. So refresh the program and check. Equal is printed, right? Equal is printed. If I made B as bigger one, B is big. Okay, so this is how the logic is updated. So you know the syntax of if, else. And you know the syntax of for loop. You know the syntax of switch statement, right? So you please practice more programs, more sample programs. And these are the sample programs are available here. I have just uploaded. What is your job? Okay, so you just copy paste the code, simple code. What is the output of this particular line? Okay, so you have to, okay, say you can just put the code and observe. It's just a multiplication of two numbers and you will get the result, that is 10. And likewise, okay, take another one program. So second program, just to check the weekend, okay, and the next program, factorial of a number, okay. So the inputs are given, okay, so you can make it as two program. One is HTML, or otherwise this HTML design you copy paste inside your JSP file, and then you can make it as one single JSP file and you can run, okay, and or you can divide it into two, okay. So these are the ways you can run. So this is for finding out the factorial of a number. Then next program, finding out the Fibonacci of a number, or to generate a Fibonacci series, right? Fibonacci series are generated. The next program, okay, so next small program is for printing, okay, number. You just, okay, there is a for loop through which 0 to 10, okay, iterations are repeated. And, okay, so you're just going to calculate power of that number. 2 power 0, how much? 2 power 1, how much? 2 power 2, how much? 2 power 3 is how much? Likewise, the exponent value is calculated and printed. The next program is, it's for an array, okay, array and predefined value. Likewise, 3 arrays are there. And what they have done is, okay, thus using a for loop, they have accessed each array. But these for loops are repeated for 3 times. So you will get final data for 3 products, 3, but these details are splitted and put it inside now 3 different array. But this is how we can merge the content of an array and you can print it. Okay, please execute and practice this program. And next program, a simple order form. So just to find out, okay, so what is the first order, what is the second one, what is the third one? This program, okay, sample order form. Okay, product list are given from the JSP file. Okay, so this, okay, only this part alone you just work. Okay, this part is not needed. You just ignore the last one. So out of these programs, you can expect many programs may come. Okay, just practice Fibonacci, factorial, like the previous program, whatever list we have given, you practice all those programs. I will also post 5 more assignment problems on 5 more assignments on JSP. Okay, and you please complete, and that will be useful for your exam. So the second JSP file, okay, so far whatever things we have studied related with JSP is over. Okay, most of the things are covered and over now. Okay, so whichever I have covered from this theory part, that alone you please concentrate and study. No need to go through line by line which are available. Whatever things I have highlighted and taught you, those things alone is enough for you. And from the second sample file, okay, you just go through. So except the last program, right? All other programs, please go through. So these are the portions from JSP. So your JSP portions are covered. Okay, over. Simple for loop, simple if statement, and a switch case, and the theory part of architecture and about okay, how JSP program is executed, and inside the JSP server engine, so how the servlet program is handled or a JSP program is handled. So these are the things related with JSP portion. Okay, you may concentrate only on this and complete, as well as I'll post some of the assignment programs in JSP. Okay, and please complete those assignment as well during your holidays and post it in GCR. Okay, so that's all about today's class. Please mark your attendance now. I hope you all understood, and I'll just post this recorded audio, sorry, recorded class informations.